watching. And you don't have to look at the camera or anything. So, who are the pictures of Mom and Auntie?
Hmm?
What are you looking at pictures of?
These pictures? That looked like my grandmother.
That's mother's father, right?
This one, I
He
think.
was a
picture
priest or
here.
a minister,
Okay.
and he left the church and married.
And this is, down here is,
Oh, that's him too. It's the same
yeah, it's the
person.
same pictures, yeah.
But you never met your grandparents, did you? Because they never came to North America. So these are only pictures that my grandmother and grandfather had? Your mother and father?
No, I've never been to Japan, so I
Right.
have no idea. Surely I don't know who she met so far in Japan. I think you met some of the girls, Yoko and them,
Yeah, I met all of
and your aunts and uncles.
Dad's sisters, all 7 of them.
Oh,
So how many relatives do we have? I know there
in
aren't.
Japan?
Yeah.
Well, we had,
Well, Dad had 1 brother, eh? That's all,
Yeah.
eh?
and the rest are all girls.
Well, no, he just had
No,
1 brother.
He
And
just
his
had one
brother
brother.
had 7 daughters.
Okay.
And mother had
She had
two brothers.
I met his sisters.
Is it 2
and,
brothers?
I just met the youngest, Uncle Kozel. I just met the youngest. The others.
And I think there was another one, I think. I can't remember what his name was.
Well, it doesn't say in here. I don't think.
But there were some girls that I met. Can't remember their names now. Isn't that awful?
So they would have been my. Gosh, what would they be? Great uncles or something like that, or grand uncles,
Or-
grand
Or
aunts.
cousin, second cousins.
Or second cousins?
Cousins or something. Yeah.
So maybe using Mitch's book, I'd be kind of curious to hear you talk about growing up, because Mom was telling me the other day about the 2 children that died.
Who?
Yeah, the 2 children that died in mission.
Yeah.
Oh, my
That I don't know
Mark
anything about.
family, yeah.
Yeah.
The youngest boy, and I think there was a girl in
Keiko.
between Jiro and Sunny, I think.
Yeah, Keiko.
Keiko died in between Sunny and Jiro.
Yeah.
And the
Masato
youngest boy died.
was a year younger than me. He died as an infant, though.
Yeah.
Before, I don't know. He wasn't a year old yet.
Okay.
Yeah,
My mother said he died of pneumonia, wasn't it? I
Yeah,
think that's what she said.
yeah.
And then Keiko, she
I
said,
can't remember what she died of. What did she have? Do you have
she,
any idea?
she said something to do with her brain, so it must have been meningitis or something.
Okay.
She said lots of people lost their children to that.
Mhm. So when you were growing up, when we went back and visited your house looked like it was in a pretty. I don't know if I'd call it suburban, but there are a lot of houses. It was sort of in the middle of the town. Was it like that when you were growing up also?
No, there was not a lot of houses. We had a fairly big lot.
Yeah,
'Cause the
and
church,
we had a lot of trees in the front.
the
maple
church
trees
was
and
built
stuff.
on our property that Dad had given.
Okay.
Isn't it? He had given part of the property
Yeah.
to build the church.
I remember
And
Uncle
then-
Jiro talking about fishing in the backyard. So there must have been a creek someplace nearby?
Yeah, there was a creek that went through. Not a big creek though. I don't know if there was fish in it. I don't remember it as being very big.
The
creek.
trees. Yeah, we had. Didn't we have a maple tree in front?
I don't know. Oh, maybe. I just remember we had a yellow climbing rose in the front.
Yeah.
And it bloomed every year and it was so pretty. It
So
was yellow.
when you both moved to Alberta, how old were you?
I was 9. I just turned 9. We left on my 9th birthday. So your mom was how old?
I'm four older than you are.
So
So
you're
So you're
not.
13?
I was about 13.
Yeah.
So what else do you remember about Mission growing up?
About Mission, we lived in a huge house, big house. Walked to school every day.
Yeah.
And we had, my dad he was a minister for our church down in Mission.
Yeah. Because there was only one minister for all of southern BC, all of BC.
Okay.
Actually, wasn't there?
And I think Reverend Calmer came down, was it on special days, special time or something?
Yeah. Apparently, he married Uncle Tosh and Auntie Joyce in
Yeah.
Mission.
Okay.
Yeah, I think when Joyce died, I think
Oh no, she was buried. They were at the United Church.
yeah.
But I know when Uncle Tosh, they were talking about when he died. Joanne said he wanted Reverend Comer to do his funeral, and Joanne said, "Well, he's passed away." He said, "We'll have Leslie do it," because Leslie was a ham radio operator too, so he used to chat with Uncle Tosh because he was ham radio, and he said, "Well, he's passed away too," so he outlived most of them, both of them.
So we had Reverend Izumi do it.
So, although he never went to church, I guess he was still a Buddhist, you know.
Uh-huh. So Reverend Izumi is Reverend Izumi still in Lethbridge?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he lives in Coaldale. Reverend Izumi lives in
He
Coaldale.
was on the golf course. Yeah.
Yeah, he lived close to our place one time too.
Yeah, the church had a house there somewhere, eh?
Yeah. Right on the corner.
Right on
I don't think he lived in that house though. That one, I think there was a Reverend Kosaka lived in there.
Okay.
And Reverend Izumi lived in one of the houses on, it had a whole bunch of same houses lined up in a row. He lived in one of those because I took his daughter to church. Just one of the girls to church about the same time Randy was going to kindergarten and stuff.
Right.
I taught the kindergarten in the church.
So this is in Lethbridge.
Yeah, well, it was in that old church.
Mm-hmm.
The one up by on 13th Street, corner of 13th Street and 13th
Right.
Avenue. That was the church we were going to first. And then when they built a big one, well, we can't walk there, so you got to get a ride there.
I don't remember there being a church when we saw your house in Mission.
Oh, the one by one on 13th, corner of 13th and
No,
13th?
in Mission, when you were, because you said
Oh,
that
in Mission?
the property that you had, that my grandfather donated property and they built a church on it in Mission.
Yeah.
Is
Well,
that right?
that was a pretty big church, too.
But I don't remember there being a church when we visited. Maybe I've just forgotten. Do you know, is the church still there?
No.
I don't know if it's
No, it's
still
just,
there.
it's been, got full of houses.
That's what I thought, that it was all houses in that area.
Yeah. Dad could have made a lot of money if he was still there and had, you know.
Right. So, and when you think about people that were your neighbors, did all of them also move out when they were sent inland by the Canadian government?
Our neighbors?
Yeah,
all the
when you were-
Japanese, yeah.
So in Mission, do you remember who lived next to you?
Well, Abby's lived next door one way. Shikazi's lived across the street.
Yeah.
And I think up a little higher, I think there's a Karyatsumari's lived up on the hill.
No, I don't remember. Were the Higas in Mission also? Were the Higas in Mission also?
Was that what?
The Higas.
No. They're Albertans.
That's
They
what I
came to
thought.
Hardyville, yeah.
Okay. Which is why you were in Hardyville when you first were living here. That makes sense.
Well, Tom's dad and grandfather
Uh-huh.
came here and worked in the mines, at Hardyville.
Okay. There were mines in Hardyville?
Yeah,
I didn't know. Coal?
yeah,
Okay, I didn't know that.
yeah. Number 3, I think it was called. And there's a mine by close to where Uncle Harry lived, and that was called Number 6, I think.
I did not realize that there were mines in that
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
So, my dad's family, the Onos, lived in British Columbia and Mission also.
Mm-hmm.
And Mom, did you know the Onos at all when you were living in Mission?
Who?
Did you
Oh,
know
yeah.
Dad's family?
Yeah, we knew them.
Yeah. We
Okay.
knew them.
Because I don't remember how close you lived. It wasn't that close, was it?
I don't know where they
No, I
live.
don't think so.
Because when we went back to visit where they lived, their house didn't exist anymore. It had been demolished. It was in a rural area. I think might have been even on a farm at that point.
Well, I don't know whether I went to school with Jack in Mission or not. I did go to school with him in Picture Butte.
Jack Ono?
Yeah, he was in my class.
Well, since you're in
your Uncle Jack.
right,
Yeah.
since you're only 9, you would have only been in 3rd grade, I guess, at the point that you
Yeah.
moved.
And I don't know whether he was going to that school or whether there was another school he went to. I don't remember him.
Yeah, we had a fairly big school in Mission, eh?
Yeah.
And you could go all the way down the long stair and go down.
Downtown.
Yeah.
To go downtown, you had this
Right.
big stair.
I actually remember
Steps.
that because not the last time we were out, but the time before when we went out with Dad. I remember you talking about that. Is that there must have been a store or a bakery down towards the bottom of it, because he always talked about going down and getting pastries like donuts and
Yeah.
things like that at the store.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we had a lot of fruit tree in Mission too. I think Dad had planted this thing, a peach tree and stuff, and we had apple tree.
I remember that
Peach
big,
and
big
plum.
tree at the school. Was it a chestnut tree? Or
Chestnut
something?
tree, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At the school, it was a big tree.
there was a huge
Is
chestnut
is
tree.
that the tree that Sam climbed in and fell out and broke his arm?
Yeah, I think so.
Your Uncle
Yeah.
Sam broke his arm. He had to go to Vancouver to get it fixed.
I have to say, I unfortunately don't remember Uncle Sam very much.
No. He died when he was 40, and
Right.
you were pretty young then.
We had rhubarb in Mission too.
Yeah, we grew it in a house. It was in a house.
Yeah. In a hot house.
So, Mom, you're in the same grade as Wes's mom. Is that right? Is that Yoshi?
Yachi?
Yachi, I should say.
Yeah.
So
Was she?
Do you remember her from
No,
school?
she was sick. She had TB, and she was
Yeah.
away for a few years, I think.
Okay.
And
She had
Okay.
tuberculosis. Yeah, I went to school with her. Yeah.
Are there any other people that I would know that you went to school with in Mission?
That you would know.
Mission. We knew the Nakshimas.
Okay.
I went to go with one of them. I wrote a letter to her and she didn't answer it back. So next time I see a guy, I'll have to ask her and find out how she is. Yeah.
I was talking with Wes last night about the Takiyasus, but I don't know if they came from BC also.
I wonder if that tuberculosis makes her blind.
No,
No?
it was the medicine she was taking for her lupus.
So let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else about Mission I was curious about. What was it like in terms of weather growing up? I imagine it's pretty mild climate. No snow.
Well, that was the one thing I didn't like about BC. They had a lot of garter snakes. I don't like snakes.
Yeah, there's
I
used
mean,
to be
you'd be
garter
picking
snakes
berries and
in the
you know,
garden.
on the raspberries,
In our,
and all of a sudden this snake would come down, and it would scare me to death.
That's funny.
the garter snakes ran around in Grandma's garden.
And I sat on one at the fairgrounds. That's why I'm deathly afraid of them.
And we had a little creek running by the house, eh?
Mm-hmm.
We had a creek.
And in the spring, we had this little hill we had. It was
Oh,
covered,
yeah.
covered with buttercups, little yellow flowers, and it was
Mhm.
really pretty. Yeah. Remember
You know, I got some of that in my house right now.
You have buttercups. Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about rhubarb. I remember we used to grow rhubarb for a while also. When we were little, you had rhubarb up behind when Dad had the shed in the middle of the yard. I remember there being rhubarb behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we had apple trees and plum trees. We had peach trees, but they were too young yet. They hadn't produced
Yeah,
any
it
fruit.
didn't do anything.
By the
Yeah.
time we left, they still hadn't produced any fruit. They were
Right.
too young.
Yeah, that was just newly planted, so.
Yeah. Did we
Yeah.
have cherry trees? No, I don't think we did. 'Cause
I
don't
know we had
remember.
a grape.
Oh, an arbor.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like
Yeah.
Dad had built an arbor and it would climb up.
Uh-huh. I really don't know anything about either Grandma or Grandpa, what they did in terms of. So they were farmers when they're here in Alberta, but when they were in British Columbia, were they also farming? It doesn't sound
For
like it.
farmers. Well, I think Dad, when he first came, didn't he work in lumber camps and stuff?
Somewhere, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know that's true of my dad's father, that he worked in lumber, which is, I believe, why he was missing fingers.
Yeah, your grandpa was when he came, wasn't he a houseboy? He cooked and cleaned for a family.
That I don't know.
Yeah. I think
Okay,
that's what Sue said. That's why he's such a good cook. He used to cook for weddings, you know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So this is Kenzo Ono.
That's where he learned to cook, you know.
Okay,
I think that's what Sue said. He came to Canada and he worked for this family. He cleaned and cooked and
I did not know that. I'll have to ask Auntie about that.
yeah, Sue is good. She's got a much better memory than me. I don't know. She's always telling me these things.
So that's a picture of. I've actually seen that picture before. The picture of you when you were smaller. I don't know where that is though. That's in Alberta though, isn't it?
This is in Alberta. That's me. I don't know why I was laughing. Nobody else is. Everybody looks so somber and I'm laughing. Oh, you're smiling too, but oh, somebody said something or I'm just laughing.
So how old were you at that point, and what did you have a picture taken?
How old was I? I don't know. Probably in my teens, eh?
This one has.
Yeah, look, everybody looks so sad. You're smiling and Sam is smiling. And I'm laughing. I don't know why I'm laughing.
I have a hard time
No.
picturing Uncle Joe with hair.
What?
I have a hard time picturing Uncle Joe with hair. Because all my life I've known him as not having hair.
Yeah, yeah.
There's two gravestones.
Does it have the years on it? Does it have
Yeah,
the years?
one is Masato and one is Keiko, I think. It's kind of blurred, you can't see the names on it. That's Keiko's. So this must be
Says
Masato.
Masato died at 2 months.
Yeah, he was just a baby yet.
What was
It's Shirley. In a new coat.
Yeah. Somebody made that coat.
I think Hideko did.
Hideko?
Yeah.
describe your brothers and sisters growing up at that point that they were in British Columbia?
Well, I hardly knew Tosh because by the time I was born, he was 16 and he'd gone out to work. So I didn't know him at all.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Only when he said, well, I used to come home and carry you on my shoulders. And I said, well, I can't remember that. But so I never did get to know him. Well, May would probably. What do you remember about Tosh?
Oh, about him?
I don't remember him at all. Yeah, when I was
Right.
young.
You know, I've always wondered about that with Randy, is that because he's 10 years younger than me, that I certainly knew him more than that, but I went off to school when I was 19.
Yeah.
So.
Well, he was 16 years older than me, and you know
Right.
they went out to work
Did
at
a picture
16.
Maggie.
Right.
Here's Tasha.
Yeah. So, and
And did he work lumber or farming or
yeah, lumber.
lumber? So that was
He
sort of the
was
big
a
thing in that area.
what do they call those people that climb trees? I don't know.
So that was Uncle Tosh.
Yeah, he married Joyce and he had 2 girls, Joanne and Arlene.
And they have lots of grandchildren who I don't remember their names.
And,
So, but when he came out, he didn't come with us, did he? He and Joyce, they went to Barron's or somewhere.
yeah, yeah, they didn't live in Westbridge or anything.
So
Detroit or anything.
he was 16 years
They
old.
were just
he was
married.
25
You know,
at
they
that
were
point.
just married and they had this nice house, brand new house. It probably wasn't a wonderful house compared to the standards now, but it was real nice. It had a big picture window, you know, and hardwood floors. I thought it was just beautiful.
At the time that they were.
And then they didn't
moved
live in
inland.
it very long. They had to move out.
So he was at that point 25, since he's 16 years older than you, and he had just been
16
married.
years older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you say he moved to where? He was
Barron's or somewhere to a farm in
okay, Barron's, Alberta.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then he went down and
Barron's
worked
or
on
Bar
Milk
Hill, I'm
River,
not sure.
Milk River for a while too.
Barron's or Bar Hill or somewhere. Yeah, and they went to Milk River and he worked for a farmer there, and then he bought his own farm.
Yeah, something like that.
And then he took an electrician's course and became an electrician as well.
So this was all quite a bit after the war.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Who's in this picture here?
but I don't know who those people are.
So who's second oldest?
But anyway, Hideko. Well, Hideko told me that her dad used to take her out when they were dynamiting trees when they're clearing land.
Uh-huh.
He'd tell her to go over there, go way over there, and they dynamite the thing, and then she had to come back and pick up wood chips and stuff.
So how much younger than Uncle Tosh was she?
She's 4 years younger.
4 years. So she would have been 21 when. And did she come out to Alberta with you?
Yeah.
At that point,
Yeah.
she wasn't married
Yeah.
yet then.
No.
So, were the Nishis also from British Columbia?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they were.
But she probably babysat a lot. She said when she was 5 years old, she was looking after Auntie Aki, who would be 3,
Uh-huh.
and Auntie Sunny, who'd be 1.
Right.
So actually, Tosh was supposed to look after them, but he always took off and went to play at the neighbors. So
This is after we came into
yeah,
picture view.
so
So Auntie Heidi being 21 when she moved out, she had, how far did she go in school? Did she go,
I think it was grade 8 or something. She didn't go that far, grade 8.
and then she worked between that time and when she moved to Alberta? Maybe
Well, she
taking
worked in
care
a
of
lot
kids?
of places. She worked in a jam factory. She also worked in a
We
A box
worked in
factory?
that cannery,
Cannery?
they had corn and stuff.
oh,
And that was
I
can't
in
remember.
Mission?
And we had worked at hop yard too.
yeah, they picked a lot of hops.
In Mission.
Yeah,
So and
Even
then,
when she was quite young, dad took her
okay.
and they picked hops. And she said she was the only girl. So she had to sleep with all the old women, and dad slept with the guys, you know, in
Uh-huh.
the same bunkhouse.
And then so Auntie Aki was only 2 years younger, so she was 18 or 19 when she came to Alberta.
Was she what?
Oh, Auntie Aki was only 2 years younger, so she was 18 or 19 when she came to
Yeah.
Alberta.
Yeah.
So
And
the last
she
time
she worked in those places too, eh? The
Yeah.
jam
I
factory.
went to the hop yard one year.
I remember
But you were only 13 at that point. So were there very many young kids?
I think there was quite a bit of kids there too, but they're following their parents around.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So Auntie Sonny was 1 year younger than that, so she was 17 when she came to Alberta?
She's 2 years younger than Aki.
Oh, 2 years. So she was 16? Or someplace around there. But she had also worked a little
She
bit.
also worked in the picking hops and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
I think one year, I think 4 of us went. I don't know, maybe 5 of us, maybe Joe was there too.
So Mom, when did you stop school?
Huh?
What grade were you in what was the last grade you were in? For school? Because
Well, you went to Picture Butte, didn't you? School?
Yeah, I went to school in Picture Butte. When we came to Alberta, I went to school in Picture Butte and
I think the older girls only went to grade 8, but Auntie Sunny went to grade 9 in Picture Butte.
okay. That's what I was wondering, because it sounded like Auntie Aki and Auntie Sani and Auntie Heidi were all at the point where they're starting to do their work
Yeah.
at that point. Were the Tanakas also from British Columbia?
Yeah.
Did you know Uncle Harry before?
What?
Did you know Uncle Harry before he moved here?
No. They weren't from Mission. Where were they from? I don't know. But they were not from Mission.
Okay.
So,
And then Uncle Bob and Uncle Jiro were younger at that point, so they were actually quite young.
yeah, the boys all finished high school. Well, not Tosh, but the younger boys all finished high school, and
Uncle Gerald took Talray Electronics.
Mm-hmm.
And Bob went out east.
Yeah, he
He went to New Brunswick, I think, wasn't he?
Yeah, Fredericton, and he went to school there and took up forestry.
Right. So tell me about the year that you moved to Alberta, and what you bought with you, how you came here, things like that. Because you must not have been able to bring very much.
No, no,
And did you come by train?
yeah.
And when you came by
Actually,
train,
I felt bad leaving, but I was kind of excited going on a train. I'd never been on a train before. And actually my kindergarten teacher, Mrs. Barnett, I don't know whether she remembered it was my birthday, but she brought me a book
Oh,
and said goodbye to me at the train.
uh-huh.
Yeah. A book of fairy tales. I remember that.
So it's a passenger car, so everybody, because from Mission to Lethbridge is probably, it must be almost a full day.
No, it was more than a full day. I think we slept on the train one night, didn't we?
yeah.
And then we went to Calgary, and then we came down to Picture Butte.
And you were able to, everybody stay together as a family during that time?
Yeah, well, that was the one reason Dad chose to come to Alberta, not to the interior, because the family could stay together.
Right.
Whereas if they went to the interior, the fathers usually had to go north or somewhere to work.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't stay with their family.
Right. So that was New Denver and some of those places. Did you know very many families that went there?
Oh, yeah. 'Cause- Oh, yeah, well, I don't know if I know very many, but I know some, yeah. 'Cause- Oh, yeah, well, I don't know if I know very many, but I know some, yeah. 'Cause- Oh, yeah, well, I don't know if I know very many, but I know some, yeah. 'Cause- Oh, yeah, well, I don't know if I know very many, but I know some, yeah.
So anyway, so it took over a day. Everybody came with a suitcase or a box or something of their.
Yeah, I don't know how much we could bring. Couldn't bring very much. So it's mostly clothes and.
Yeah.
And you went to
I
Calgary.
don't know if we bought anything else. I don't know.
And a lot of the stuff's got buried out there. Stuffs we couldn't bring out.
Uh-huh.
And we buried it out in BC.
Do you know of anybody who ever went back and got any of their stuff?
Oh,
I don't know.
Because was the idea that you would, for instance, if you had some plates or something like that, is that rather than throw it away or give it away, that you would bury it?
Oh,
And,
we were expecting to come back, actually.
Yeah.
Mom and Dad were expecting to go back.
oh, fairly quickly? Maybe a year or 2 years or something?
yeah, we were expecting to go back.
That's what people
Well, we never
buried
did.
things there. They were expecting to go back to their place, you know?
And at the end of the war, was that an option that was given? That you could go back to your home or...
Yeah, but they had sold all our properties.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, we never did go back.
And you went to Calgary first. So from Calgary, there actually isn't a train to Pitcher Butte, is there? So you
yeah,
you
train to Picture Butte.
Oh, there
we
is a
stayed on
train?
the same train. Yeah.
okay.
Came to yeah, we did go to Picture Butte, didn't we? I thought maybe we came to Lethbridge, but we came to Picture Butte,
Yeah.
didn't we?
I think so.
How many years were you in Pitcher Butte?
How long did we stay in Picture View?
From 42 till
42 to...
Mom and Dad lived there till 42 to 55. They moved to Lethbridge when I graduated from nursing.
So you were there. Kind of the order of things that happened after that, I'm kind of curious in. So
What?
at that point, for instance, Auntie Heidi was 21 when she was in Pitcher Butte. When did she get married?
Heidi got married
When she
in...
got married. I think she got married when she was about 24, right? Or something.
Something like that, I think. Because Priscilla is... she's... I was born in
I don't know how old she
19...
is. I don't know. I don't know anybody's ages.
So the family was still in Pitcher Butte, and so they had a wedding in Pitcher Butte.
Yeah.
And then did they move to Bow Island right away, or was it a while
No,
before they moved there?
The Nishis had a farm in. Well, they were in. They were north. Was
they
it Bar
were
Hill or Barrens or somewhere?
Yeah, somewhere out that way. I'm not quite sure which
And
one
then
it
they
was.
moved to by Diamond City, past Shaughnessy, between Shaughnessy and Diamond City. They bought a farm there,
Okay.
and they were there for I don't know how long.
A few years anyway.
Yeah, because
And that was all
the
after
kids
the
were
war.
all born in Lethbridge, and they, well, except for Keith, they were born in Lethbridge, and the kids went to school in Shaughnessy. Eh? And then
Oh, yeah, he was the only one that was kind of out of place. Eh?
he was born in Bow Island. But anyway, the Nishis all moved out to Bow Island.
So then, who was married next? Was it Auntie Aki?
Hmm?
Was Auntie Aki married next?
Auntie
Well,
Aki
she
got
married-
married 1914. Richard was born in 1949. So he got married.
She's probably married in 48. They always had a kid a year after or something.
Yeah, because Richard was born in 49.
You have a good memory. I can't remember those dates.
I didn't realize that Richard was 10 years older than me. Yeah, I guess I remember.
Yeah,
always
and they had
remember them
4
being big.
kids. Richard, Gordon, Elaine, and Pat.
And so Uncle Harry, was he a farmer for a while before he went to the brewery?
Well,
When he worked
that's
at the
what,
cannery.
Harry worked at the brewery.
Didn't he
Right.
work in the cannery for a while?